Happy Friday, everyone, and I just wanted to give you a quick little sneak preview of our upcoming knit-along. It is called Slipping Into Spring. That might be a little bit of a clue as to what type of technique we're going to focus on. So there will be one yarn choice this knit-along. We will start on March 3rd, so you've got lots of time to choose your colors, check your needles, get your pattern ready. What else can I tell you? So Friday, March 3rd, we'll go live with the cast on at 5 p.m. If you're not able to join us then, you can always watch the videos. They're available in the video section. I will post an event after this video is finished, and that will give you more of the details if you want to read through it. So we are going to work with Alma, and that is hand dyed by Manos. It is a not-for-profit fair trade company in Uruguay that makes beautiful natural fibers. The one that we're going to focus on is single ply. It's very soft, lightweight, cushiony. It just feels like every strand is filled with air. And this is what we call single ply. So there's a very gentle twist to it and a subtle halo. It is 546 yards for each skein, 100 gram skein, and some of the colors will be tonal and some of the colors will be variegated. So they'll work well together in this knit-along project. Needle sizes you'll need are 3.5. If you choose the second pattern option, you'll be using 3mm, 3.25, and 3.5. Sorry, if you're choosing option number 1, you'll be using 3.5, but again, that depends on your own personal tension. And we'll be offering a 20% off early sign-up incentive off the yarn. So I'm going to show you the colors that I have today in stock close to the camera, and then I'll post little snippets of all the colors on the event page so you can have a better look there and do your mixing and matching. We will do tips and tutorials for the 4 weeks of the knit-along every Friday with posted videos for any of the techniques that you might want to learn. And we'll also offer our trivia incentives as always. So that will give you a chance to win an extra ballot along with your sign-up ballot, and that will be for your participation in the grand prize draw. So all these little details I will post in the event page. So I have started on my early knit-along project, and I am doing a triangular shawl. I have to get a picture to show you. I wasn't quite as prepared as I thought I was. Okay, so project number 1 choice is called On the Other Side, and it is a triangular shawl worked in mosaic knitting, or as what we're calling slip stitch. Tassels are optional, and it requires 2 colors, your main color and your contrast color. And we're focusing on designer Lisa Hans. She is well known for her mosaic knitting design. So this is project number 1. It's very, very simple, and it's a good introduction into mosaic knitting because you're only working the mosaic knitting along one edge of the shawl. The rest of the shawl is all simple garter stitch, 2-row stripes. So that is worked on a 3.5, and it requires 1 skein of your contrast and 1 skein of your main color. I'll put the project link in the event page. And then project number 2 choice is a pullover sweater, also by the same designer. And this is called Felicitas, the Arrow Sweater, being a very popular design on Ravelry. And again, this will give you a nice introduction into the slip stitch knitting. You can see it's worked across the yoke on the back and the front. It's a top-down design, So that means you have no seams, and throughout the body there are 2 row stripes. So again, you need a main color and a contrast color. Stripes are optional. Some people might want to do a solid color body and maybe work the stripes on the sleeves, or no sleeves at all. It's completely up to you. You can design as you go. The bottom portion of the sweater is worked in a very simple lace pattern and then ribbed borders. So this one will include techniques such as short row shaping at the top, the slip stitch, which is working from a chart, increasing, decreasing, and it's an oversized sweater with a loose swingy body, very, very lightweight. And in terms of how much yarn you'll require, I did make a little chart here for sizing. The sizing includes extra small all the way up to 3XL. So if you're doing any sizes from extra small to large, you'll need 2 skeins of the main color and 1 skein of the contrast. If you're planning on doing a size from extra large to 3XL, then you do require 2 skeins of the contrast, 2 skeins of the main, and for the 2XL and the 3XL, you'll require 3 skeins of the main and 2 skeins of the contrast. Needle size again is 3, 3.5, 3 3/4 circular double pointed, because it is worked in the round. So that is for this lovely sweater. I'll put the link down below and show you my version of On the Other Side, which is very appropriate as we move from winter into spring. We're almost on the other side. Now I went with low contrast. I'll just talk a little bit about low contrast and high contrast. So it hasn't been blocked. I'm only halfway through. I'm really enjoying it. It's just so light and lofty, and because there's hardly any twist to the yarn fiber, it just feels soft and tactile. One side will have the I-cord border worked in as you go, so that stops the edge from curling, and the other side has a garter stitch border. So I chose a very low contrast combination in our yarn of choice, Alma. So I have the golden yellow, which is tonal, and then I have a variegated with olive green, cinnamon, deep plum, rose, and a brown. So the look I was going for is very pebbly, more like stained glass. Now, if you wanted to have a high contrast, then you would be working more with 2 of the semi-solids. That will give you more of a high contrast definition, meaning that the pattern stitches will be very, very evident, and you can see that zigzag border clearly. So this is one example that would work well for the sweater or the shawl. This is a deep periwinkle blue and soft sky blue. Very spring-like. And this would give you low contrast, because here we've got the blue semi-solid with the variegated shades of aqua, greens, and teals. So that would also be a pretty combination for the shawl and the sweater. There's just so many ways to play with the combinations. I'm just giving you examples. And I'll totally forget what I have shown you. Now this would be an example again of high contrast. As you can see, they're very clear, definite colors, and they don't blend into each other. Now, I was very tempted with this combination. I'd love to see one of you choose this one. Again, this would be high contrast with that sunshine golden shade and that soft sky blue. Now, we know these colors go together in nature. We see it in the sky on a sunny day. So it would work just as well in a spring shawl or lightweight pullover. And then right now in the knitting world, you'll see a lot of this combination, light to medium gray, semi-solid with the gold. So again, that will be high contrast. Both shades are medium tones, but very distinctive to show up the pattern stitch work. And this one is, again, the blue. I know blue is a favorite for many of us. So the blue and then a variegated mix of pale blue, ice blue, periwinkle, and aubergine. And this is an earthy blend. So here we've got variegation in grays, cinnamon, browns, deep coral, and fawn, together with the gold again. So this would be low contrast because some of the shades will blend. They're not totally opposite. And it is strikingly different from my color combination. So this is my color combination I've chosen for the shawl. And this again is very earthy, but it does have quite a bit of cranberry, olive, rose, cinnamon. So that is the earthy one at the bottom in the taupes, grays, and the one at the top has a little bit more of the rose tones. Okay, so I think I've given you a few good suggestions. I'd love to hear what you think about our knit-along choices. So once again, we're going to start March 3rd, which is a Friday. And you're all welcome to join from your home or wherever you are. We do usually have a group in the store at the same time. So they sometimes are working on the projects and I can practice the techniques with them, and then I know what to show you on the video at 5 o'clock when we go live. I will post everything in the event page in the next hour or so, so please take time to look at the color choices. You can message or call the shop to place your order, and we'll get it to you definitely before the knit-along starts. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a great weekend.